Yes, it's on me.
All right.
Lovely. Now with what you said was missing from the battle suit, one of the bits of it was the back piece,
Found a
which
battle suit.
incorporates the jetpack. I'm meaning out of character right at the
Talking to me.
moment. I'm
Ah.
gonna suggest it to you in a second.
That is correct. Yes.
Lovely. Then I might motion to discuss further with Vola. So for him to accompany me.
As you wish, Fearless.
I will accompany you.
Do you take him to it? What are we doing here?
Yeah,
Just
I'm
kinda-
taking him to it.
Just kind of
and sort
staring.
of talking him through what we got, what I've done with the battlesuit so far. Just talking it through with him, at least in my tech.
So you've now been informed, Fearless, that there is indeed a Tau battlesuit on the ship, and he's repaired the majority of it.
Did you salvage any other suits? Is there only one left amongst the entire
There's
wreckage?
only one left that was sourced among the entire wreckage, with what we had time to investigate.
At least only one that wasn't utterly and terribly destroyed by the very large bomb.
Damn, the DM
Yeah,
has
but
spoken.
Right. Yeah, that's not something the Fearless knows.
Alright.
All right.
So
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 what
he's
do
just sort of running that through with you on a data slate, bringing up
Yeah.
pictures as I'm taking you to it, and sort of emphasizing the word jetpack every time.
So VRLS, you're taken by Delta down a few corridors, a few lefts here, right here, straight on for quite a ways, until finally you get to an area with lumen globes up everywhere. Do you want to go ahead and describe your lab there?
Well, this is just more of a makeshift maintenance closet at the moment. It was just a
Yeah.
room that I could quickly make sure was completely locked down to just me and the captain with as little fuss as possible, and move it there discreetly. So it would only be a very small workshop at the moment, with just mostly servitors with stuff that's been brought in from around the ship.
All right. So then, as you enter this place, you see that there's points on the ground where there were hard-pointed metal, probably cabinets of some sort, that seem to have been ripped out or unbolted from the ground in a hurry.
I'll be right back.
Area has been expanded out and emptied out to contain just some, I guess, like poles and stuff like that, like coat rack kind of stuff, but really large and metallic, with the intention of holding up this battle suit that's out there. It's bigger than you for sure, but it's not. We're not talking broadside level here. It is very obviously no need to even do a roll. It is, or at least was, a fully functioning stealth suit. However, it's different now. It seems to have had lots of Imperium style technology thrown on there.
Yeah, the outer carapace, like armature, was completely replaced, pretty much.
But the basic style, the basic shape is still there. Hey, Blood,
Yeah.
what's going on, man? You seem to snoring a little bit there. Just making sure you're good.
Didn't even
Yeah,
notice. My
it's all
bad.
good. No worries. All right, so Delta shows that to you, Violas, and let's see. Yeah, that's fine.
And there are also a servitor in each corner that looks outfitted with a speaker grill. They all stare directly
There
into
you
the
go.
center where the battlesuit is. It doesn't look culty at all.
As to your, doesn't look culty at all. Make me an awareness check, Vola.
So just 1d100.
Yeah, just throw out a 1d100.
Hey!
No.
Woo!
I mean, mostly just because everything on the outside has been replaced. So it's pretty difficult to tell, other than the basic shape and some of the the design that you would normally have seen is still there, but the plating and a lot of the actual components seem to have been replaced by materials that the Imperium has, not that the Tau used.
Can I tech use it?
You can. You want to go up there and try to use it?
I want to check it out, yeah.
As I see him walking up to it, I do offer to try do a sort of test fitting with the equipment that's currently together, because while I can't quite attach the legs and things to the torso without spending more time repairing, I can at least test fit them to see that they fit Violas correctly, and whether I need to adjust my dimensions at all for Tau. Considering the
And is there
alterations
a
I made.
helmet?
No, there was no helmet, but I do have a spare Fire Warrior helmet that I can probably integrate with not too much effort. If not, it's just not functional at the moment, which is fine. There's still a lot more to repair. And I also sort of size up the jetpack.
Right. The jetpack would be a tough fit. You'd have to make some pretty serious modifications to the plating along the back there to be able to integrate a jetpack, but
That's why we're
it's
getting
doable.
measurements.
Right. Alright, so Violas, if you're okay with it, you can... What was that for, tech use?
To see if I recognize anything. My dude's really not good at rolls of observation.
What is your tech use?
45.
Well, I mean, looking up there, the main problem is going to be that a lot of the interfaces that you would have been used to... Actually, you really aren't used to any battlesuit type interfaces, but the interfaces for any computerized components of your armor would usually be up in the helmet, and as that's missing, it's a little difficult for you to tell what's going on in there. You do know that the actual computing mechanisms are not in the helmet, but all the
I'm back.
interfaces that you've ever used are, so you really don't know how to interface with it because there's no helmet.
What I miss?
Viorlas has been shown the stealth suit by Delta. He tried to find a way to use it, but he can't interface with it because he doesn't know how to use it without a helmet.
Can I be making sure to take pictures of everything that I find in terms of size and dimensions and helping it work for Violas?
Oh yeah, I'm sure you've probably got a video feed going and you can just go
Yeah.
back through and cut out sections here and there.
I'll help you repair this under one condition, though.
He stares at you blankly.
Allow me to be the only one, or the first one to use this.
Compliance.
The least I can do is use it in battle for my fallen brethren.
McBooth nods, because he's far more emotionally intelligent than my character.
Just a floating skull kind of bobbles up and down a little bit.
Yeah, just sort of like a silent nod sort of thing in respect. And Delta's just like deadpan, like, okay, sure. This wasn't different from what I planned.
Did you find any weaponry that goes along with it, perhaps?
No, regrettably, but I do hand him the big sword that I got.
The big sword. How big is the big sword?
It was amongst a pile of other swords, and it was referred to by the size category of a big one.
All right. Do I need to roll anything for this? I mean, I have training in every Fire Warrior weapon.
Well, I was just thinking it was a primitive great weapon.
I'm sorry, you found a sword, and are
Yes.
you trying to look at the sword right now, Violas, or do you...
Yes.
Your Delta?
Because I'm handing that to him as something size suitable to use with the stealth suit as a melee option.
So
Because
when you
I don't
look
really
at
understand
this-
the need for primary range functions.
Right.
Isn't one of its hands a gun?
Yes.
God damn it!
But that's one of the items that was missing was the...
Wait, that depends though. There's two different types of stealth suits.
It's the 25.
Yeah.
Its entire
Yeah.
right arm is a gun.
Damn it.
But we can easily make you a new gauntlet to interface.
So yes, when you look at the sword, you can tell that it is similar to some of the things the what is the conclave you're from?
Farside Enclave.
Farside Enclave. Okay, there you go. It's similar to some of the things the Farside Enclave tends to use in a lot of their larger mechs. Is that they favor some melee components like Commander Farsight. This one, the sword likely had some sort of power source in it and was probably a power sword or something similar to it at one point, but it doesn't seem to work like that anymore. It's just a big hunk of metal that's kind of sharp and has a handle. It could potentially be repaired if you wanted.
Can I make a roll to see if I can find out exactly what kind of sword it was? To see where to begin repairing?
Yeah, you can make a tech use.
God. Hey, nailed it. Like, on the head.
Nice. This sword was it was just a basic, like electrified sword, a power sword, basically. Really just because a simple large piece of metal would be difficult to use properly at this size category we're talking here. You kind of want something else to give you a little oomph so you don't just break your blade randomly.
Which the stealth suit does.
Right?
So me, myself, wouldn't be able to use it then. Too large. Or would I be able to use it without the stealth suit, seeing how the stealth suit is
human,
broken?
or you as a regular Tau-sized person? No, you cannot use it. It's too big.
Would I be able to make a check to see if it would be able to be shaved down? Because if it's fitted with a power field, you can reduce a significant amount of weight, because the power field makes up for the structural integrity.
Yeah, you could make that check.
That can be a trade armorer, because that's a fairly basic skill.
Wreck.
Ooh, that was security, John.
Oh, I thought I hit the right one.
He rolled a 34.
So much worse.
Okay. So, I'm going to be looking over the equipment then, helping you out with all that.
Okay. So you guys can do that. Right. Let's see. Okay, so you're trying to see if you can shave the blade down, make it usable by a regular Tau-sized person. You do know, probably from having seen Viorlas here. Viorlas, do you have your sword with you?
I do. Always. It's a part of me.
You probably could. Yikes. You probably could shave the blade down, but then the blade wouldn't be available for the suit.
Oh, why not? If it shares the same handle, it would just not drop in effectiveness in the use of the normal Tau. You just wouldn't gain the full strength bonus for it.
Well, that's true. I mean, it would be usable in the suit. That's true. It just wouldn't be. It wouldn't have the same damage, because it'd be smaller. It would have less weight behind it.
Well, that's why you give it a power field.
Well, it had a power field at one point. It was just broken. If you could restore the power field and leave it the same size it is now, then it would be a very nice weapon indeed for the suit. If you shave it down, it would be a very large sword for him, and probably something akin to a short sword for the suit. That should
Okay.
also be fine.
Can I
Or,
present these ideas?
as an armorer, you could theoretically try to incorporate a power field into his sword, his current sword.
Yeah. I present
Any ideas
these
are fine. I'm good with
options
them.
to your character, Vola, while
gonna
we're
need-
both sort of eyeing this big sword.
I'm going to need
Present
some
different.
time to think about these.
That seems reasonable.
Perhaps wait until we get the suit fully operational to
Exactly.
see the functionality.
Alrighty.